Welcome to Principles of Macroeconomics. I'd like to tell you a little bit about myself and then a little bit about economics. So first of all, my name is Mrs. Patricia Atkinson. My education consists of a Bachelor of Arts degree from Marist College in economics and a master's degree from Portland State University, also in economics. My work experience includes teaching. I have been teaching since 2000 for Portland State University and other institutions as well. Since 2000, with the exception of a hiatus from 2001 until 2004, when I was at home with our youngest child. My research experience includes doing economic research in 1990 at Marist College, in 1992 and 93 at the University of Nevada, Reno, where I was studying for my master's degree. And in addition, after receiving my master's degree, I worked for a local consulting firm in Portland in 2001. In 2004, my husband and I bought a company in the automotive industry, and I am the vice president of that company. A couple things to note about the class. Some things that you'll note from the syllabus are that we will have exams and quizzes, homework, and discussion forums consisting of 25% each to make up 100% of your grade. So for example, the homework, which includes summaries each week and a self-check quiz, makes up 25% of your grade. Your discussion forum will be another 25%, and there will be one or two of those each week. There will be a weekly quiz, which is different from the self-check quiz. The weekly quiz will come at the end of the week. That's another 25% of your grade. The final 25% of your grade is the final exam. Dates are announced in advance of when these assignments are due, and so there are no makeups. The lowest grade will be dropped from the quizzes, so that if you miss one quiz, that would be one to drop. If you miss more than one, that will negatively affect your grade. So keep this in mind in terms of the due dates for the entire term. The final exam is also not flexible. There is no unexcused absences, and missing the exam means a 0 on that part. Let's talk about economics. What is economics? Any science is a systematized body of knowledge. So economics, as a systematized body of knowledge, is a science which studies the activities of a people in their efforts to achieve the material things they want or need, given limited resources. The founder of economics, by most mainstream economists, is considered to be Adam Smith, with his publication of an inquiry into the nature and causes of the wealth of nations in 1776, or known as The Wealth of Nations for short. This is not a book that is easy to read, as it is written in 1700s English. It's complex, but it is the starting point of mainstream economics. If we flash forward to 1936, we have the founder of macroeconomics, who most consider to be John Maynard Keynes. He argued that the theories that develop economics and microeconomics are not the same as macroeconomics. And as a result, we have the beginning of macroeconomics in 1936 with his general theory of employment, interest, and money. It was first used in the 1960s to a great extent in the United States, and we just have about 50 years of experience with this type of macroeconomic management, and so really it is a baby science, macroeconomics. Microeconomics, as I mentioned, is looking at the small or the individual effort, whereas macroeconomics looks at the large or economy-wide or aggregate influence, aggregate meaning summed together. Some of the examples of topics studied under macroeconomics would include the unemployment rate, the interest rate, or economic growth rates of various countries can be compared. When we look at economics as a whole, each society faces 3 different questions that they must answer. And all societies face these 3 questions because of scarcity. And since we have scarcity, which is defined as limited uses for unlimited wants, we have to face choice, since we want to use resources in different ways, and we don't have enough resources to fill all those different ways. So every society must first decide what is going to be produced. And as soon as you decide what to produce, you make a choice. And that choice necessitates an alternative foregone. And that is one of the first ideas that we will look at. The next question every society must answer is how. How are we going to produce? And this is a question of efficiency. And it is according to productive means, the ability to produce goods and services. Efficiency is defined as more output per unit of input. This is a focus of microeconomics and is touched on somewhat in this chapter. We will look at it specifically in terms of efficiency when we look at the production possibility frontier coming up shortly. The third question every society must answer is for whom. And this is a question of equity. Equity is about fairness. And as such, not everyone is going to agree on what is equitable, as demonstrated by the Democratic and Republican debates regarding political decisions. What is equitable to a Republican, given their choices and their upbringing and their view of the world, is not going to be the same as someone who is a Democrat. Equity has to do with distribution. Who gets what? And that is what the question for whom addresses. So because of scarcity, we have to make a choice. And we make a choice, that means we are going to have an alternative foregone. We have to weigh what we're giving up and what we're getting. Second, how are we going to produce, which is a question of efficiency. And finally, for whom? Who is going to get what is produced?